11. Friends don't lie.
Stop it! You're freaking her out!
She's freaking me out! The upside down.
Do you understand what he's talking about?
No. I found the chocolate pudding!
Oh God, please tell me it's not the kid.
I need you to hide!
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Holy shit.
Welcome back. My name is Kit.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Stranger Things. This time it's Chapter 8 of Season 2, The Mind Flayer.
You ready to get your mind flayed?
AKA the Thessal Hydra? Is that what we call it?
That's right.
I want to say Tessel Hydra, but that's wrong.
Nope, that's wrong.
Thessal Hydra.
Yep.
Thessal, yes.
You were thinking of the Tesseract.
Yes.
Or Tesla.
Or the importance of being earnest.
Or titty tassels.
Now I just want the Avengers to be looking for the Tesseract.
It's the Tesseract.
I want the Tesseract. sounds so ornery.
We watched Chapter 8. This is the penultimate episode of Season 2. We're going to talk about our overall thoughts, do some MadLibs, a whole deep dive and recap, of course. Bunch of fun games at the end. We'll step back into the Nina to our original 2017 coverage, talk about our favorite performances, our favorite moments, bust down all the Easter Eggos, as we call them, and cultural references and 80s, movies that were referenced in the making of this particular episode. All that stuff coming just ahead. So, Andy.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think yet because we got to do the MadLibs.
It's time for the MadLibs. It's a section of the episode where I ask these two jabronis for verbs, adjectives, nouns, so I can put pen to a paper and they can craft a story that we will listen to at the end of this episode. This week, boys, I'm throwing you a curveball because we're running out of Season 2 themed passages in the official Stranger Things MadLib. So I'm just pulling out from the 1980s MadLib.
Okay.
Fun.
So here we go. Kit, give me a verb.
Suckle.
Andy, can I have a noun?
Teat.
Natural progression.
I have to spell it phonetically so I know to say teat and not tit later on.
Well, it's T-A-A-T. It's already spelled phonetically.
What?
T-E-A-T.
Oh.
You thought teat was just spelled like tit, but said funny?
Yeah. Or T-E-E-T is how I spelled it.
That would be fair, but wrong.
3 E's?
Oh, like at least 6.
Teat.
Can I have a noun, Kit?
Oh, he took teat. Spider.
Andy, can I have a verb ending in ing?
Boofing.
Kit, can I have a color?
Indigo.
Andy, I need a verb.
Pilfer.
Can I have an occupation plural, Kit?
Model.
I need a first name.
Ebenezer.
Can I have a noun, Kit?
Orphan.
Verb, Andy.
Mop.
Verb, Kit.
Clean.
Noun, Andy.
Labia.
That's plural and singular.
I was going to say, if that's plural, I don't know the singular.
Labia. All the ladies in the crowd say, what? That was the labia?
Yeah.
They sound like Fred Durst.
Yeah. I'm just a labia.
It turns out the plural or the singular is labium.
Aha, I knew it. I had a sense.
So should we say labium?
Yeah, it's one of those things you rarely see by itself,
Just the one.
Whose turn even is it?
Andy said.
Who said labium?
Andy.
Okay, so you get adjective.
Harry.
Andy, can I have an article of clothing plural?
We'll go with knee pads.
Noun, Kit.
Clitoral hood.
Andy, can I have a noun?
Tater.
And lastly, Kit, I need a person in the room.
Andy, for sure.
That's so fucking funny. Okay. Stay tuned to the end of the episode so you can hear the story that these two guys created titled Hit Record.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Steve, for moderating the MadLib creation.
You're welcome.
But now it's time to talk about our overall thoughts about Chapter 8, The Mind Flayer. Andy, we'll start with you. What was it like revisiting this historic episode?
So this episode is one of those that takes the show and elevates it from good to great. This is an absolutely phenomenal, fantastic, wonderful episode. I could pick some nits. I could say it gets a little sappy in some moments.
Don't you dare.
Just in like the interrogation sequence. So the episode is kind of built around two tent poles, right? It's the big interrogation and it's the big home invasion. And Those two sequences are absolutely phenomenal. But like the little choices that they make in this episode take it from good to great. And I'm thinking of teeny tiny choices. Like there's a moment where Steve puts his bat up on his shoulder and there's this little noise effect that the sound designers put in there. And it's so great. This is the epitome of everybody understanding the assignment. And so they're taking the bits of character that make them more than just a character. It makes them, he is a class, he is a warrior, he's a D&D warrior in this sequence. And so when he takes his weapon and arms himself, they add a little sound effect because they understand the assignment. And that is just so fun. There's also just wonderful little acting choices made by some of the cast, like Paul Reiser, when Bob has his near miss with the Demogorgon, he has this little delivery of just, Jesus Christ, which is so good. Paul Reiser is so wonderful at saying the most mundane, normal thing, but making it more impactful. And so shout out to the casting. They did such an incredible job. Outside of the tiny nits that I can pick with a little sappy in moments, I think that this is probably the best episode of the series up to this point.
I think I would agree with that. This episode is really, really amazing. Incredibly great episode. You hit the nail on the head, Andy, by saying this is what takes the season from being good so far to being great. Because I love everything that's going on. That interrogation scene with Will and Jonathan and Mike, kind of sharing stories with him, I think is so good. It makes me so teary-eyed, like almost the whole time. I don't know why. Something about Jonathan and Will's relationship really makes me smile whenever I see that Jonathan just loves his little brother so much. It just brings a tear to my eye every time. But it's so smart. Like the episode, Stranger Things is so good at doing this. We have 10 plus characters on 3 to 4 different journeys of their own. And then at the end of the season, they always bring these threads together. And now it's the 10 plus characters doing something. And it never feels like people or one character or the other is like being left out, if that makes sense. Like everyone has a job, everyone has a role in the final few episodes, and they're just experts at this craft. And it also, like, we get a huge death in this episode. Bob Newby, we love Bob.
It's so sad.
And it's so sad and it's so affected. And I think it's very powerful. And I know the further and further we get into this coverage, a complaint that's levied towards Stranger Things. And again, this might be a little spoilery, but people are always like, why do you introduce new characters to us only to kill them by the end of the season? You don't get to be with them that long. And before that became a trend, you had Bob Newby. So when Bob died, it was a big deal. Like,
he's
I remember
the
being
OG
so
one and done, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so shocked. And it's Sean Astin too. So it's like, oh my gosh, they killed Sean Astin. And it's such a brutal way for that character to go. Sweet poor Bob that was just trying to help out and be a good stepfather figure, to be the dad that stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
And he stepped up to being eaten alive by Demodogs.
When he first gets stabbed, you're like, he might be all right. And then they
Hopper
cut back
could
to
shoot him
him
off.
being eaten by like 8 of them. I'm like, I don't think he's going to recover.
Oh, yeah. And he's, it's so gruesome. Ugh. And this is the episode that gives us the controversial Will's birthday that we'll get into, I'm sure, later on in season 4. But we learned that Will's birthday is March 22nd. Or is it? But I don't know how much we'll talk about this episode, but definitely in season 4, we'll talk about that a lot. And that's all I got to say for this episode. Very good one. I love this episode. Kit, what did you think?
I also love this episode. I was crying my eyes out. It was such a rapturous experience revisiting this. And it's so funny. I think a lot of the flack that the lost sister gets, like we talked about it kind of separating the story arc that everybody was interested in, being one of the reasons people are so hard on it. But also I think it's just when you're binging and you get squished between a really good episode. I think 6 was Dig Dug, right?
Yes.
Which was all of our
6 was The Spy.
That's The Spy,
Spy,
and
Spy.
Dig Dug was before that. Mm-hmm. So you get like the best episode of the season so far, and then like a really solid episode, and then The Lost Sister, and then like one of the best episodes of the show.
Yeah.
Even having seen 3 and 4. Tough cookies, man. But yeah, there's some great stuff in here. All credit goes to Sean Astin for how much he was able to do with so little time on screen. Now president of the Screen Actors Guild, by the way.
Yeah.
Sean Astin.
Mr. President.
There are some nits to pick. I understand what you mean about you're talking about all the stories that they told to keep Will.
Yeah. So like Mike, you know,
Brought to
all
the forefront.
teary-eyed. The best thing I ever did was ask you to be my friend. Or like Jonathan busting out the Clash again. And he's like, remember when I played you this song last season?
Well, it means a lot to them. He
I
sang
get
it through his entire internment in the Upside Down. Obviously, he likes
When
that song.
when he plays the Clash again, it hits for me. I'm like, yeah, that's the jam.
And all I said was it's a little sappy.
And like,
that's fine.
If like Jimmy was dying, you know, we don't like care a whole lot about him, but like if exactly in that moment, because he's dying, you'd be like, dude, it was the best thing I ever did. You know, you're going to like ham it up a bit because it's like, read the room.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
You got to play to his emotions, so you got to be emotional.
But I do think
Hopper, like, I remember when I dragged your body out that lake. It wasn't you.
Remember that time when I stabbed you and cut you open and you were full of stuffing? Oh shit, that wasn't you. I forgot. Sorry.
way different.
Wait, what'd you do?
I think also it might be a little out of left field / unearned for them to overcome the possession by Will tapping Morse code. And all's to say is that the only foreshadowing we got for Morse code being a plot device in this was unrelated to Will. So when Will is then sitting there tapping the chair, get me out of here, I'm real scared. There was no setup for him being that guy. And so there's plenty of ways they could have done it. And it's fun that they did the Morse code. I just think that any kind of setup of like Will, a flashback of Will and 3 episodes earlier, tapping Morse code to the boys at some point, anything to set up that he's that guy. We can assume because he's in the AV club and stuff that's just something he knows.
Yeah.
To get a ham radio license, you have to know Morse code. It's one of the things you have to know to get a ham radio license.
I didn't know you had to get a license.
That's right. So you do some digging.
Is Will a card carrying license member?
Who knows? But as somebody, a member of the AV club,
like, everyone back off. I know how to use this ham radio.
as members of the AV club, I think we can safely assume all the kids know it just because they are the way that they are. And the foreshadowing that Hopper knew it was important, but for separate reasons. That's to foreshadow why he would notice, right? That Will was doing that because he's the one that looks down.
Sure.
It's a small thing. I think it's a extra nitpicky kind of thing. It's an extra cinema sensey kind of thing. I do think what is unearned is all of that. It works pretty well. I love when they bring up the Clash and most of their monologues are not making me cry, but are like hitting. But in general, I'm still recovering from Bob, which is a weird thing that happens like in the middle of that episode.
Oh yeah, like maybe the first third.
And I don't a whole lot, very much care about Will. It just in general. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I love Will.
So
He's our boy.
yeah, he's
I want
not
Will to
though.
be so safe. He's my boy.
He's the character that wasn't in the first season hardly at all and is now sidelined again in the second season. He's just like the punching bag. And I'm still wiping tears from Bob Newby's superhero, you know? And this isn't a huge, I'm just saying, I think that's what you're experiencing is not that, oh, these emotional beats are not quite hitting because they're a little silly. And it's because you don't actually care as much about the guy in the chair. You know what I mean? That's my theory. And that's just what I'm going with.
Based off that.
Steve, of all people, is looking at me crazy, which is so funny.
No. Like what you're saying, I guess your theory tracks because I love Will. So everything that's happening in the chair, I'm just like, yes, give him the talk. Give that girl the Tonka truck, Will. You're such a good boy.
Yeah. Because he's not an elf or an orphan, you are very invested based on very little screen time on what's going to happen to him.
If he was Dobby, it'd be a different story.
Oh boy. Somebody throws a knife into Will's chest. Steve. Now we're talking.
Oh yeah, I'm back in.
I had some other tiny criticisms of this episode, but ultimately it just works so freaking well. The score is like extra incredible. I don't remember what it sounded like, but during that shack sequence, it's like it's doing some crazy awesome shit. Like it's really 80s, obviously, but it's so cool. Do you have it or something? You're like about to press a button. You're about to blow my mind.
Oh no, I'm just for camera
Oh,
cutting
I
and
thought
stuff.
you were about to fucking rip it out, dude. I was so excited. I was like jamming. Like, this is awesome. I want this. in my writing playlist. That's what I'm talking about. And the way that it ends, oh my God. It's one of the coolest things ever.
Oh, when 11 shows back up? Yeah, it's one of
and
the best
she's dressed
endings
all
ever.
bitchin', so it like makes the, what have you been doing? Oh my God. You know?
I could wax poetic about how awesome that final scene is all day because you've got all the characters there and just the thing where it's like, here, Jonathan, do you know how to use a gun? No. Nancy's like, I do. And then like Nancy pulling the gun out looking like a total G. And then Mike gets his little trophy because he's going to fight. Lucas has his wrist rocket. Who steps in?
And Max
Fucking
is really
11.
confused. What's going on? I want to go home. Ultimately, I literally think, now I've only seen 3 twice and I've only seen 4 once. And it's not part of this current rewatch yet. But I'm fully prepared to say that this episode is probably top 5 of the whole show. Is that crazy?
So far, yes, it is top 5, and no, it's not crazy.
Okay. I definitely know it so far. I'm saying even including 3 and 4, it might be the case.
Yeah, as we continue watching, we'll see. Season 3 is so fire.
One of my biggest criticisms of Stranger Things as a whole is that they, starting now, try to do the Bob Newby thing every season. And it made me upset in season 4 because I love the character so much. And I thought there's no way they're going to do that again.
Oh yeah. In our coverage originally, we're like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
They've done it 3 years running now. Or
And
2
then they
years
did it.
running. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
They're like, we know it works.
It was
Keep going to that well.
It was epic.
Yeah.
And it was
It was.
incredible.
It was.
And Joseph Quinn is such a good actor. I think that his sequence was the best of them.
Oh, it gave him
know.
such a big career. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny looking back, like of all the people that have been in this show the whole time. Well, you got Hopper, who's become a huge star, but
Yeah.
and then Joe Quinn, just boop. I don't know why I did it such a tiny. He just majorly
I'm a
went
superstar.
boop.
Yeah. David Harbour, Joe Quinn, and Finn Wolfhard are like the 3 that really got the most success out of the show. I guess Millie Bobby Brown too. Millie's in a bunch of stuff too.
Yeah, I think she would be in by her own wish. She's not in more stuff.
Yeah.
You know, she's more of like, I got my pajama line and Netflix keeps plugging me. That's it.
That's all I need.
That's all I want. I don't even watch movies. I'll never get over that. I was rooting for her until she's like, I don't really.
I don't like movies that much.
No.
It's a side hustle.
I like to imagine that when she met her current husband and he told her, you know, my dad's Bon Jovi, she responded with,
Who? Very likely.
What's a Bon Jovi?
Oh, my other ride.
I don't get it.
Those bumper stickers. My other ride is John Bon Jovi. That was a thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is
Too
a
niche.
thing.
Is he a ride?
Yeah. He's a sex symbol, Steve.
Too niche.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Am I insane?
I don't think you're insane. I just don't think I was hip to that.
I'm not hip to my most bumper sticker lore.
I did go to a Bon Jovi concert once with my sister.
I know honk if you're
fun.
horny. Honk if you're horny.
Yep.
Trump 2024.
Coexist.
Yes. Those are the really only.
Student driver.
Those are really the only bumper stickers I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just waiting.
I'm not finding one, but
My other car is in
I know that I've seen
You're
multiple of them.
so-
I've seen multiple
you
of them.
can't find it on the internet.
I got distracted. I'm sorry. Hang on.
How did you
Bon
get distracted?
You started going over. I thought.
Bumper stickers. That was like,
Yeah. You'll have to excuse me.
I see you give love a bad name bumper sticker.
it's not
Bon
a thing,
Jovi,
Andy.
slippery when wet.
It's
bumper
not a
sticker.
thing.
I see my other ride is a dragon.
I mean, if it was a thing enough to where you expected us to know,
I've
it would have
seen
immediately popped
multiple
up.
of them, so I thought it was a thing.
Your cousin had one once.
There's
and
one person in the area that has that car, and you just have been behind them multiple times.
Andy just invented a Bon Jovi bumper sticker, trying to deliver it,
Right.
and trying to deliver it as an inside joke we would all get.
And it was like, well, you guys don't know.
I'm getting sad now.
Can't find it.
I mean,
Nobody's trying to rock that.
all this mom needs is wine and Bon Jovi. Let's go.
That's Karen. That's crazy.
I see a Bon Jovi slippery when wet.
Oh, there's a few of those. I've scrolled all the way down. Now I'm in Janis Joplin bumper sticker territory.
I love it. Okay, so not a thing, but I've seen it.
Yeah, I believe you.
They exist.
It's worth a shot.
You know?
That was worse than when Steve brought up that specific Smosh video.
I would like my other ride is Andy bumper stickers, please. So
there you go.
get to work.
Andy's beard. Mm-hmm. My other ride is Andy's beard.
Ooh, we should sell those bumper stickers.
We'd sell at least 3.
Why Andy, kind of?
Brett, Ricker. Have we done enough overall thoughts?
I think so.
All right. It's time for the deep dive, the full recap after a brief break to hear from one of our sponsors. And we're back, and Netflix describes Chapter 8, The Mind Flayer, thusly. An unlikely hero steps forward when a deadly development puts the Hawkins Lab on lockdown, trapping Will and several others inside.
That synopsis is doing some shady work, I think.
Trapping Will and several others.
Will is unconscious the entire time he's trapped in there.
Will is the least important character in there.
Will is the three-eyed raven.
An unlikely hero steps forward literally in the last 30 seconds of the episode.
Yeah.
I assume they're talking about 11.
It's also like the most likely hero.
Yeah. The only one, really.
Like, it would be more accurate if Ted stepped up.
That's an unlikely hero.
Did someone have bad language?
Imagine they kick the door in at the end. Demo flies through the window and a shirtless Ted busts in.
We have leash laws for a reason. This dog's off leash. I'm reporting you to Neighborhood Watch.
That's right. Andy would be like, yes.
It's got that like synthy 80s score behind him.
Just you guys wait. We'll see who's laughing.
Can't wait. So it starts off with the demo dogs who begin climbing into the lab. It's so funny to imagine this was like right after the lost sister. Because the way it starts is like, hey, we were just here. And it's like, we were not, buddy.
We were here 58 minutes ago.
You're a fucking liar. But the dog starts banging at the glass. And Dr. Owens is scared but confident in the polycarbonate.
It can't get through. And then it's like, friends, I need backup.
Lend me your ears.
I don't know why I made him a parrot.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
You know what will help? Loud noises and flashing lights. Go.
Oh, the alarms?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's trying to alert everybody, hey.
To get out.
Generically, there's some shit going down. It cuts to Mike, who's there.
Polycarbonate doors.
If you recall, he was trying to warn everybody, but the guards were stopping him. And then Bob came up like, what are you doing? You're freaking out, buddy. He's going, we're too late. We're too late. We're under attack. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
The dogs are all banging at the glass now, big time, and they do bust through. I love how Dr. Owens has his own secret, sacred like passageway, and he's like, Hopper, psst, come here.
Use them. We're gonna use them as bait.
Fuck them this way. People got to stop using that elevator when Demogorgons come through.
No.
If you get into that elevator in the Hawkins Lab, you will die. Like, it's all
Well, and there's signs everywhere. In the event of a Demogorgon, take stairs. It says it.
It says that right there.
Everybody knows.
We practiced this. That's on them.
And that there was like a young, pretty woman that you'd never seen before. She was in the elevator, and it's like her third day. Yeah. She's still in orientation.
Everyone seems so nice. Shepherd 2.0 gave me.
I got a 401k. And
like she made me so sad when she got in that elevator.
Not the dude that was jamming the music who's like, looks like that kid's full of shit, Doc.
Yeah, not that guy.
You weren't sad that he got eaten up?
Not even a little bit. But Mike says that Will needs to be put asleep.
He's
because
a spy.
He's a spy. And Will starts, he's lying.
He's lying.
He doesn't do a good job playing it off.
No, you.
He's like this deep demon voice. He's lying.
No best friend of mine.
Says who? Yeah. But the guards they start shooting. They're really bad shots, I guess. They're all like future stormtroopers because none of the demo dogs die and they all have like automatic weapons and stuff.
So are the demo dogs and I guess to a lesser extent Demogorgons, they're bulletproof, right?
No.
Like because
we see
anytime anyone who's not named Hopper shoots one of these things.
But even it just develops later because when Hopper is shooting them when Bob Newby's getting killed, you see the one like take it like, and that's when he's like, fuck, we got to just go.
Yeah.
The bullets aren't going to help much. But then when he's defending 11 in the next episode, he's knocking them down. They're going down.
Well, I assume that they weren't dying. They were just getting like, ow, because they're not on stable surface. So he's just hitting them off they're they're just falling down. They're not actually being killed.
I don't see how they
it's the
could be.
equivalent of shooting them with like BBs. You know what I mean? You can kill a human with BBs eventually. It's just going to take a hell of a lot of them, you know?
I don't see how it's possible that they're bulletproof. You're saying it's just the force of the bullets knocking them off the lift?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because a bear trap got through a Demogorgon skin. There was blood.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just saying there's some inconsistencies.
For sure. They're not obviously the best weapon. In fact, there isn't one. Your best weapon, if you
Is a nail bat.
is telekinesis.
Oh,
clearly.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But anybody that can be killed with telekinesis has to be able to be killed with bullets because that's just like physical damage occurring. Like she's breaking their necks or something, right?
Second best weapon, a bat with nails in it.
Maybe they don't have
Andy
many
gets it.
like major organs, you know?
That's true.
And so like, what are you going to, do they have a heart?
I don't know.
They don't seem very nice.
Or
they do have a heart. We've seen that with Dart,
Yeah. Dart does have a heart. Dart's heart.
or at least a certain taste for
Maybe
candy
it's
bars.
less of a, maybe if they weren't being hive-minded controlled by the Mind Flayer, like if they were just animals that were just themselves and not kind of operating under this influence.
Yeah, they're a
the Mind
little
Flayer has.
puppeteered is what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe if they did get shot, they'd be like, ow, yeah, shucks, and they would run. But because they're being puppeteered, it's like, there is no Dana, only Zool, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, Will at this point barely knows his own mother. She says she's considering this whole spy thing. Bob's like, those are gunshots.
Who am I?
I'm gonna say Jonathan.
And then she's like, fuck, let's do it. I would love the idea that they didn't put the right medicine in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, guys.
It's just fentanyl. But yeah, very ballsy, just grabs a needle and goes to town.
Just anytime in movies when people just grab a needle and they're untrained medical people and they're just like stabby stab somewhere, it's like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like you can't put like a lot of medicine has to go in a vein or it doesn't do much or, it'll take a long time. But most movies, they're just like stab anywhere, insert.
We're all just bags of fluid and we just
Yeah.
gotta put this fluid in the bag.
Right. It would just bubble into the skin and piss him off. Now it's really itchy.
Now it's really burning everywhere.
Yeah. But I assume it's Thorazine or something like that. It's effective, but yeah, hold him down. Hopper and Dr. Owens come in. They see the needle. I don't know why the camera bothers to do that because it never comes up. It's just like them noticing. Whatever. It's the 80s.
What, you guys are partying?
Hopper grabs it.
Bust out
Fuck
the
yeah.
titties. Let's fucking go.
But Hopper picks up Will. We got to get out of here. The dogs are out there killing everyone. And when they get to this like safe security room, Bob says, oh my God, looking at the cameras, there's dogs and dead bodies everywhere in every part of the lab. Holy shit, we're overrun. They're prowling. And then the lights at that moment go out.
One of the Demodogs is just downstairs at the fucking breaker box.
I guess so. He like flipped it.
I guess.
There's a little aspect of Gremlins and all the demo dogs who are
Yeah.
just like technological monsters.
One of them's putting lipstick on.
Gremlins 2 is
That
awesome.
would take forever on those
That would be
lists.
so good.
I'd fuck me.
Andy, have you ever seen Gremlins 2?
Yeah, like when I was fucking 6.
Fucking love that movie.
We covered it. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Max's parents. We meet Max's parents and they come home to find that Max is missing. They see her open window. Billy's in there jamming to some old school Metallica. Then he's putting cologne on his balls, which is a bold move. That would be stingy.
He's calling it shot.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's
He's
Neil,
expecting to get sweaty, you know?
not just sweaty. He's expecting visitors down there.
Yeah. He doesn't want it to be stinky.
I mean,
He's rolling out the welcome mat.
hey, we all have different strategies. Me personally wouldn't be a fan.
Of
Yeah, if I'm going
going
downtown,
down on a cologned
yeah,
wiener.
if I'm gonna blow a dude,
Yeah.
I don't want to smell Aqua de Jo down there
What would you
pungently.
Like, what would you like to smell?
Pheromones, baby.
Oh, pheromones.
Maybe nothing.
Ideally,
You know,
some of that funk.
I assume he just got out of the shower. He's probably good for a good 6 to 12 hours without it, unless he's gonna run 3 miles to the date's house. But he's not. He has a car now. He does wear leather pants a lot. That can probably complicate
Those
things.
jeans are skin tight.
Yeah. I just thought of a horrifying story I'm not going to tell. Not about my own personal life. Well, okay, I'll tell it.
Okay.
I think it's
Let me twist your arm.
I think it's Motley Crue. It might have been the Rolling Stones. I think it's Motley Crue, but one of those like rock bands that are terrible people made a bet for how many women they could sleep with wearing the same pair of leather pants without showering.
Ugh.
And I think it was Tommy Lee, and he wore those leather pants or something for like 30 days straight without showering and slept with like 100 women.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
And those last 50 women were not having a good time, I would imagine.
That or there's like
Some yeasties.
there's a
being
bunch of
spread
women who are
around
like,
for
yeah,
sure.
Tommy Lee's
Balls stink.
he's like, why do you want to do that? Like, tell my tale, ladies. The yeast machine came to
I
town.
don't know. But that's what I thought of when Billy put the cologne down there. But we meet Neil and Susan. Those are their parents. Remember, Neil is Billy's dad. Susan is Max's mom. And now they're married and they have a little step family. And Neil likes to say the F slur.
Ooh, this scene is uncomfortable.
Does it do anything to humanize? Because we've seen that like Billy's pretty racist and stuff. And I've seen like the overall fandom, or at least online, they really don't think Billy's a person that we can enjoy or thirst after based on what we've seen, even including what we see of his background here. I think what you see is a clear case of severe abuse that has manifested in him, and he takes that out on Max. He acts as his dad does to him, to her.
He is 1,000,000% a product of his environment. And if his dad's dropping the F slur, you can probably assume he's dropping some other slurs too. And that is just how Billy was raised.
Yeah. What's Susan doing with this guy?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Not to blame the victim, right?
No, I'm also like, it makes me uncomfortable because like if he's comfortable doing that to his own son just openly, what's he doing to poor Susan? Like, I don't know. There's some weird, I don't know. Neil sucks.
Yeah, Neil full on attacks Billy and then punches him. And he's terrible, right? Whatever whore he's seeing tonight, he's going to tell her he's not coming. And he doesn't use that word in like the Game of Thrones sense where everybody's having fun. It's not a noble old profession. You know?
Just everyone in Game of Thrones having fun. It's one of my favorite words. Don't get in here. We're saying the WH word.
I'm just saying there is a difference when Tyrion's having some whores over is different than when Neil says Billy's going to see a whore, right? That's got a different connotation. Tyrion's having whores over? Oh, fun night.
One's a business.
Right. I don't think Roz is upset as Billy's date would be. That's all I'm saying. There's a time for certain things.
Yeah.
Never a time for the F slur, however. Not even in Game of Thrones. Even they don't go that far.
No. I wouldn't say that word.
Gilly, get out of here.
Gilly earmuffs.
Steve and the gang are walking at this point. They're still talking about Dart and how he's been molting like hornworms. We learned that hornworms are a thing, A, and B, they do that. And Steve lets the literal cat out of the bag, and Lucas finds out that Dustin did find Dart and was withholding that from the party the entire time.
I love the way that Steve says all this. It's like, yeah, he ate Muse. What are you talking about, dude? Yeah, totally. He ate your cat, Muse.
Everybody knows this.
Everyone knows Dustin has a cat named Muse. It was eaten.
We used baloney. It was a whole thing. And Dustin immediately says, well, we're even because you told Max some secret party info, right?
You want to tell her too?
Lucas does not agree that they're even. And Steve shuts him up because he hears roaring, the demo dog roaring in the distance.
This is where we get the sound effect, and I love it.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Oh, it's so good.
I wrote in my notes, God damn, that bat looks so good on him.
It does.
Can I just wax poetical a little bit about just Steve
Sure.
Harrington's look like that? The bat on his shoulder with the Steve Harrington hair and that gray jacket that he's wearing. Just give him the shades from his Tom Cruise cosplay earlier this season.
It makes me want to go back and buy, and I probably will because I'm bad with money, that shirt of him and it says The Babysitter.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Classic shirt.
It's also a decent horror movie called The Babysitter you guys should check out. It's on Netflix. Any hoozle. Why are you headed towards the sound is what Max is saying.
Yeah.
Which is a fair question. but it's actually pretty far away. Lucas spots with his binoculars that it's Hawkins Lab that the sound is coming from. They're going back home.
They just look out into a giant field. It's got to be the lab.
You can see the lab out there.
Sure. And everything else.
Yeah, but auditory localization.
And I think the lights are flashing at the lab too, so you can just like, ooh.
There are no lights yet.
The lights are out, Steve.
Oh, well, maybe I'm looking at, maybe there's something blinking.
Maybe there might have been a blink. I think it was like a radio tower nearby or something. But you're right. Maybe there was some lights still functioning. Some E-lights.
Yeah. Got
Emergency.
the emergency lights, yeah.
Not like an EDM concert. That's not what I meant. Like not like an E-girl.
Dr. Owen's wishes.
Ooh, woo. John.
Just the way Paul Reiser would say, ooh, woo.
Just hit the wrong.
That's so funny. Ooh, woo.
Hopper has to go reset the breakers to unlock the doors. They've got a plan to turn the lights back on. But Bob's like, look, man, you got to speak basic. You don't speak basic.
Teach it to me.
I love the way he stops and says, where are you going? Breakers. And then what? And then we get out of here. No, then the power comes back on. That's all the breakers do.
Yeah.
Then we need to reset the computer. And to do that, you need to be able to you need to restart the computer. You need to know where the fucking power switch is. You need to restart the computer. Then you need to bypass the security system. And you've got to know basic to do that.
Okay, teach it to me.
I love that.
Shall I teach you French while I'm at it?
Yeah, teach it to me. Listen, motherfucker. I ain't got the time and you're too dumb. Let's just talk about it. So, and he could have. He didn't seem like he was doing much. It didn't take him very long. So maybe with a CB, he could have done it.
Yeah.
But let's not go there.
Hit Control-Alt-Delete.
You don't even know how to work a QWERTY, my guy.
I do love that Mike, his contribution to the scene is just hyping up Bob. Like, yeah, you got to know basic, idiot. Like, just like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, behind Bob is so funny.
You dumb. Nerds rock.
Come on. They keep like pounding knucks.
And
It's just
Bob-
a stupid sports game.
Bob says, I got this. And I'm Bob Newbie Superhero, remember?
No.
I got to be honest. We're all talking about the scene in a certain kind of flippant way. I cried my eyes out as soon as he said, you got to know basic. I love this scene. And I teared up immediately.
It's in my top 3.
Hop gives him the walkie and a gun. He teaches him how to use a gun real quick. He says, easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
I would love it if he had shot Hopper in the foot or something.
Oh, it's so funny because as he's holding the gun, Hopper does this like, it's so subtle, but he just guides the gun away so he's not pointing it at him.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Bob knows basic and Hop knows badass.
Yeah, he knows basically how to kill a man.
This is me. I'm like in open tears at this point because Bob's like, hey, as soon as those doors open, don't wait for me. Just go. And Hopper's like, I was going to do that.
That's a fucking no. That's a fucking man, right?
I know.
Get Joyce and the kids out of here.
Get 'em outta here.
And Hop's like, I was gonna, but I respect you for making sure.
Yeah.
Because I also, like you, think they're more important than you, and I just want to be real clear about that. That gun doesn't have any bullets. Good luck.
I just wish they did the handshake, you know?
What do you mean, like?
Zoom in on it.
Oh, like the Predator?
Yeah.
And their biceps
You know?
flex. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I didn't know Bob had those.
He's like, you've been pushing too many pencils, Bob.
Bob Newby, you son of a bitch.
Jonathan and Nancy show up to the lab. The lights are off. There's no Polaroids to be found, but Jonathan is not convinced. He knows the culprit is in there. The gate doesn't work because the power's off. And then they hear some tussling. There's something in the woods.
It's Steve.
It's clearly people with flashlights, but they're still freaked. Hello?
Jonathan?
Did the Demogorgon get a flashlight?
Hello?
It's really dark out here.
It turns out it's just Steve and the kids. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And it's like, we were fucking, but we don't have to say that yet. They very legitimately say we're here for Mike and Will, which is each of our siblings. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there was some awkwardness, but they covered it.
They're not in there, are they? That's where the demo dogs went.
Yeah, because they have information that would mean that would be very bad, right? I love this scene, though. It's such a, like every...
Well, this is what we talk about when we say the Duffers are so good at sending everybody out to do their own little escapades, and then they all come back together in like when the threads collide, and this is that moment, and it's so fun.
Threads are colliding,
Yes.
for sure. And then they hear the roaring right after that question. They're not in there, are they? Why? Bob.
Ooh woo. Well, is that in the distance?
Is there a rave going on in there?
Bob. I'm glad you love that so much.
Dude,
That's a good reel, right?
I guess.
That'll be a good reel. Ooh, woo. Bob is doing his best to keep it together. He's sneaking through. He's very scared.
Keep it together, Bob.
He finds the dead lab techs in the computer room.
Here's one thing that kind of makes me laugh. There's that bit where Bob's sneaking around and then like the steam comes out of the pipe and scares him. They use the same exact sound effect as the Demogorgon. Like it's not even like trying to be subtle of like, it's like, it does the thing coming out. I'm like, that's a weird choice to just like.
I didn't notice.
We didn't have the license for other steamy sounds, so we just.
Or they did it on purpose because it was supposed to scare you, you know?
I guess, but I don't know. I think it would have been better.
It's much more likely that it was an accident, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Oh, I didn't know if it. I think you're right that they did it intentionally. I just don't think that's
good.
good.
It should have been a generic steam, a little too close to the timbre of a demo dog.
Or something that wouldn't fit at all. That'd be hilarious. Like bonk. Oh.
Ooh, Elvis coming.
Oh. Hey, mama.
Almost there.
Okay. He gets the power back on. He flips those switches. Nancy notices that the power's back on because they're all arguing and she sees the lights, right? The gate still doesn't work. There's this funny bit where Dustin demands to be the one to press the button.
Jonathan, let me try.
Let me try. All right. And then Jonathan's like, all right. And Doc's radioing in with Bob. They're communicating, right? He quickly unlocks all the doors with basic. He's a beast. It's Bob the fucking brain.
Open sesame.
The gate finally opens. Dustin thinks he did it. I got it. Told you, let me try.
Ain't no one can press buttons like your boy Dustin can press buttons.
And Bob goes, easy peasy. Meet you outside. It's all time to leave the lab now. But the west corridor is now, where he came down there, filled with demo dogs. So he has the quick idea to turn the sprinkler system on in the east corridor and draw the dogs away. Everybody's impressed, including the audiences. What a big dick Bob. So excited. But he leaves. I hate how
it's so dumb. You just explained something to me that I never put together.
What?
That he turned the sprinklers on in the east stairwell to distract them. Because I always thought he just turned on the sprinklers and the demo dog's like, and water. I don't like this.
No, because it shows him going to east corridor sprinkler system. And
You don't get them wet and you don't feed them after midnight.
yeah, they hate water.
Nah.
It lingers on the gun he leaves, and I think that's dumb.
Because now he's in danger.
Well, because the gun wouldn't do anything, we all
Can't
know.
defend himself.
He doesn't barely know how to use it, and they're not that effective. And it just you know what I mean? It's like a pointless kind of, oh no, but it's not part of the oh no.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he doesn't like reach for a gun that isn't there or anything.
Yeah, I guess they just show he doesn't have anything to defend himself, but it wouldn't have done much.
You're right. It doesn't make any sense, but it still works on me. Because
it's ramping up the stakes.
When it shows the gun, I had the thought, oh no, what's he going to do?
He can't bust caps. Break yourself, demo dog. Dr. Owens stays behind to be the guy in the chair, which is noble of him, right? I think that's a good way of showing why Hopper might trust him for something important later. Because he makes this decision like, no, I'll keep an eye on things get crazy again. I'll let you know. You guys go. Hopper gets everyone out, but Joyce stays behind because she's, come on, Bob.
Man, Hop is doing some heavy lifting with the rifle and Will.
Yeah.
It's like, you could do one of
Pretty
these
sure
things, Joyce.
that rifle weighs more than Will, though.
Probably. Yeah, that's fair.
And Doc's guiding Bob still. It's getting a little crowded, Bob. Take it slow. And it's very frustrating how long it takes for Bob to get in that closet. You know? There's a closet to your left, and you get in there. Why?
What do you mean?
Get the fuck in there right now.
What possible reason could I have? Think about it, Bob. The brain.
Are we going to get in trouble if we're caught?
So then the monster lingers. It's a very exciting scene. The shadow under the door. And Sean Astin does a great job of, the shivering, sweaty, bumbling acting is so fucking perfect. It eventually leaves. He exits the closet. One of the most excusable uses of slow motion of all time. The mop falls.
I love how you don't see the mop until it's already falling. Like,
yeah.
You never even clocked that could be possible. Like, oh, he made it up. There's a mop.
If you've ever like worked in a restaurant or anything, like those mops be falling, dude.
Dude, all the time.
And it's unavoidable almost.
Yeah.
The worst. And at this point, Doc is just like, run, right? Bob makes it. We get this heartbreaking moment of relief. He's like, crushed it.
Didn't even need a gun.
Before he gets tackled by a demo dog.
Is it the same dog that just made it out of the door, or is it another one?
I assume it's the one he was running from.
Okay.
Which is why it's a little alarming that he was like, crushed it.
Let me slow. Like, he's not actually being edited in slow motion. He just did that turn like,
Joyce, come on.
Joyce, look how cool I look.
It would have been funnier if he had ran past Joyce and she got killed.
You shoved her to the ground.
Yeah.
I've had better.
I'll miss you.
Get out of my way.
I'll take care of Will on his birthday, March 22nd.
Hopper, they got Joyce.
I'll send him a card. Hopper, they got Joyce. Don't look back.
I always hated
Well, that's
Jonathan.
exactly what happens to him right after this. He gets tackled. He gets stabbed. Bob's like, he's gone. We got to go.
Or
And
Hop, yeah.
Hop's like, we got to go. And Bob's like, I'm still alive and this really hurts.
Well, he'd been bitten in the chest.
There's still time.
And it's when like 7 bust out and the bullets don't do anything that Hopper's like, he's toast. There's nothing I got to save the kids and stuff, right? Yeah, it's sad. He's getting eaten. He grabs Joyce. He's gone.
Dude, the image of that last shot of Bob dead on the floor and all the Demogorgons are eating him and his body's just lifelessly being jolted by them all is so rough.
At that moment, Jonathan pulls up in the car. And I think another thing the Duffers are really good at is, like, it was the same thing you're saying, but just in a slightly different way, like bringing all the threads together so well. They do a really good job of making sure everybody's got a job to do. And if they didn't do that job, it wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah.
They do this to great effect in the 9th episode, the next episode, when a whole party feels sidelined and decide they're just going to do something to try to help, which is actually like crucial, it turns out. But like here, it's like, oh, I'm going to drop everybody off and I'm going to drive the car up to the front door. Why? For what? But that's in fact the only reason they're able to survive, right? It's just really cool. It's good writing. Jonathan pulls up, get in. Hopper just grabbed his truck too, which is really funny to imagine. Can't leave my Bronco, you know, but totally fair. It's a dope ass truck.
That or we didn't see Jonathan go, get in, but not you, Hopper. You got to take your car because there's actually a lot of people at the end of the road that you got to take as well.
That's right. Plus, I don't want your boots scuffing up my Oldsmobile.
They look dirty.
They got Bob, but they're not getting Bessie.
That's right. Yeah, and then it cuts to Bob just being eaten.
Awful. Poor Bob.
And then it's like, it's Sean Astin. So, it's 20, 30, 40 years of love for this man that we're experiencing while watching this,
They got Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy, no.
No. Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah.
Of course you are, but I'm coming with you.
Oh, it's so much pop culture weight thrown into that shot.
Samwise Gamgee became 11sies for some demo dogs.
Not cool.
Think of 50 First Dates with the lisp and the muscles.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Sean Astin, like a character Sean Astin has played dying in a movie before. I can't think of one.
It's true.
And
It's
so
true.
this is like, oh my God, they got Sean Astin.
He's like the opposite of
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
yeah.
Darn it.
The Sean spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
There's Sean Astin on one end, Sean Bean on the other.
Oh,
Sean William Scott in the middle.
I was going to say Penn.
Sean Penn.
And they're all at the buyer's house in the next scene, hiding out. They're mourning. Jonathan is talking to Will because he hasn't been here for any of this episode. He didn't know Will was even hurt or anything.
Sorry, I wasn't here, buddy.
Did you get a lot of candy though?
Being
Hopper,
really rude.
I got laid.
You gotta wake up. I gotta tell you, buddy. Everything we thought was wrong.
It's all going to be okay.
Hopper's trying to call the government to come help, but they're just like, "Who is this?
Yeah, you're prank calling us.
Are you
I'm
saying-
the police.
Are you telling me that weird shit happened at Hawkins Lab for a second time?
What are the odds?
Okay, sir. What is your name? Jim Hopper?
Sounds fake. We've seen Predator.
If you said Jim Harper, I would have believed you.
Mike says we can't sit here while those things are loose. Mike of all people is like we got to do something, right? But Hopper goes back, knocks on the door where Joyce is, She's in shock in there. He just sits on the floor in front of her.
I love that scene. No dialogue at all. Just sits.
Just got to be near. What are you gonna? What can you say?
Yeah.
The boys all sit at the table, forlorn. Mike watches the phone because he's the one that wants to take action, and then he goes over to the brain teasers. Bob was the original founder of the Hawkins AV Club. Taught Mr. Clark everything he knows. Isn't that cool?
That's sweet.
Dustin's a dick. Yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. We can't let him die in vain. And this is where Dustin names the demo dogs the demo dogs.
Is that a dog? That's
Demogorgon,
a dog.
dog.
It's a compound.
That's a demo dog.
Gilly. We're talking about compounds.
Get in here.
Get in here.
And then they realize Mike has an epiphany. It's his army. It's the mind. It's a hive mind. It's oh my god, just like the Mind Flayer. When they reference Dungeons and Dragons yet again, that's a fucking game for kids. That's just a book. It's a manual, and it's not for kids. And then Nancy's trying to play ball, right? Okay, so this Mind Flamer thing, which is not okay to say. And then
Steve's like, it's the Nazis.
no, he says like the Germans. You mean the Nazis? Yeah. And he's like, okay, so so Hopper's like, all right, so how do you defeat it then? Well, you summon an undead army because zombies don't have brains, so he can't manipulate their brain.
It's a game.
It's just a game.
It's just a game. Son of a bitch.
What are we doing here?
But then they're like, no, we got to figure this out. The tunnels are going to reach the town before the army gets here. Everybody's going to be eaten by dogs. We got to do something. And Joyce comes out. We have to kill it. I want to kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
That's right. I ain't got time to bleed. We don't know what we're dealing with here, is what he says, right? And then somebody's like, no, but he does. Probably Mike.
Mike does, yeah. William knows.
That's right. He
William
can't spy if he doesn't know where he is. So this is where they come up with the idea to create like a Mission Impossible kind of thing.
We're going to do some set deck.
It's just like Fallout. The Mission Impossible Fallout, to be clear, not the game. So they empty the shed out.
Set deck.
Yeah. Steve and Nancy are hanging tarps in the shed. They're alone for a bit. And she tells him, hey, you know, what you did for the kids, helping them out was really cool.
He's like, yeah, well, they were going to die. And I thought that would be less cool if I allowed that to happen.
Yeah, no big deal.
Also, you been out cheating or what?
We'll talk about that later. They're not cheating. They were on a break.
We were on a break.
Dustin apologizes about Dart to Lucas, but in like a really sad emo way. Like the self-pity is just gushing over, right?
If you want your girlfriend to take my spot in the party, I understand. I get it.
Which I wasn't digging that part, but I did love the callback to his conversation with Steve. I saw you guys holding hands. Oh, she was just scared. No, I saw it. The electricity. Which he didn't specify what he meant was sexual electricity, but I know what he's trying to say. But he saw the sparks.
Saw the sparks.
You're basically Bon Jovi.
And they don't do a good job of being realistic about what a young man's mind is like, because they show Lucas feeling really bad for Dustin, which he would have, but that would have been pushed beneath 8 layers of, you think so? You know what I mean?
You think she's into me?
Yeah. Really?
What kind of electricity?
You think
my
she'll
God.
go to Snowball with me? Oh, it sucks about what you're going through, though.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be right. But you think she digs me?
We cut to Max, who's talking to to Mike, and says, I get why Elle is your mage now, because there's like legitimate magic things going on, I guess is what she's trying to say.
This is the thing that happens.
Where you hate
This
Mike.
Yeah. I was finally turning around on Mike, and he's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have told you because you're such a dumb bitch. I'm like, Jesus, kid. Calm the fuck down.
Just because you know doesn't mean you're going to be in the party. And she's like,
shut the fuck up.
I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Just trying
Sounds
to be
like
nice.
11 was really awesome. Yeah, way better than you. Loser.
Yeah.
Why? It should have been you, not Bob.
But he's sad. He's sad about 11. That thing took her, just like it took Bob. And I'm getting this ammonia, and I don't even know why. Hopper told me to get it. I think he's making chlorine gas. I don't know. He was in Nam, and he just storms off. Joyce tells Jonathan that Will is still in there. They tie Will to a chair. They use the ammonia as like smelling salts.
So they covered everything in this shed to make it unrecognizable to
Sure.
them. And they went so far as to cover the chairs with cardboard and duct tape. And I think that that's fucking hysterical.
I didn't even notice that.
It's so funny.
But he would recognize the chairs.
Yeah. Hey,
Because he recognizes the timbre of the phone ring.
that's our folding chair.
So I think it's a good idea.
It's such a good plan, too. This is what we were kind of talking about, how when they come together with a plan for how to deal with the Mind Flayer and what to do with Will, it's amazing because you got all these characters that have completely different backstories and like how they would tackle a problem. And each part of each character influences this plan, and it works because everyone has such a diverse background and a way of tackling the problem. It's so cool. Like
this is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of the deprivation chamber they build with the kiddie pool in the gym in the end of season 1. Like this is that time, but everyone else waits outside. I think it's just Jonathan, Hopper, and Joyce initially in the shed. And
I think Mike's in there.
Is Mike in there initially? He might be.
Yeah, I think they're in there.
Steve's
swinging his bat,
practicing his swing, and everyone else is just kind of brooding. Will wonders why he's tied up.
Sorry, this is one line that always makes me laugh because I don't think it's nearly as cool as they thought it would be.
Judgment Day?
Yeah, the Judgment Day line. It's like, what happens if he does recognize us and the demo dogs find us? Judgment Day. Judgment Day.
It fits with how they are, though. And Lucas specifically has always got that like kind of cool melodramatic vibe.
It is. It makes me laugh, though.
I skipped it because I was like, I'll leave somebody an Eggo later, you know. But it'd still be there.
Is that an Eggo?
What? For what?
For what?
For the Bible?
What day is it?
Will wonders why he's tied up and he freaks out. He goes full Reagan from Exorcist there.
Why am I tied up?
You guys remember my birthday?
The lights start to flicker. It's so powerful. March 22nd is your birthday, Will. You remember that? I got you that giant box of crayons, which everyone else thought was a shitty present, but you loved them. They were hand-me-downs, and I colored with them for a long time, actually. They were like the green and the blues were really worn down. Mm-hmm. But you didn't care.
You drove you made your own spaceship, and it was yours.
I showed everyone that drawing. My boy drew this. My boy.
And you were so embarrassed, but I was so proud.
That's right. And then John.
I'm like an emotional wreck during that. Ugh.
Remember when Dad left?
And he said it was your fault. Remember that?
Which it was, kind of. We were building all Castle Byers all day. It started raining. We kept it. You were so bad at hammering.
But we had to finish it and we almost died.
And this is where he starts tapping. And nobody notices yet, but we as the audience do. And then Mike tells the story of the day that they met. And it was the best decision I ever made to ask you to be my friend in kindergarten. The teachers were pregnant. We didn't even know what that was. My kindergarten teacher was pregnant. I remember being like, huh.
What's
that
wrong
about?
with
Her belly.
And then I always think about Juno when she tells him she's pregnant. And he goes, like our moms and teachers?
Just because you peed on that doesn't mean it's yours.
So funny. Will is crying and shaking. And they're like, oh, maybe we got through to him after all these like deep stories. And he goes,
let me go.
Let me go. But Hopper notices the tapping and he figures out that it's Morse code, goes inside and translates it. It says,
I love that he
here.
doesn't say anything. He's just like, sidebar, sorry. So before he even says anything about the Morse code, they get away from Will.
Yes.
It's so smart.
You don't want to spoil it for the Flayer.
Uh-huh.
And Steve is like, what's that? Everybody says Morse code. It's fun.
Clue that everybody there kind of knows it. And he's like a goober, right? And then we get this montage of telling him all kinds of stuff to distract the Mind Flayer while Will is, or draw Will out or both while he's doing the Morse code. And he tells the should I stay or should I go story and the first time he played that song. And there's all kinds of different little stories. But then they translate the Morse code and it says close gate.
That's how they can stop the Flayer.
That's right. But at that moment, the phone rings and somebody asks a legitimate question. I think Steve, well, it's just a phone. It could be anywhere, right? Nope. Will recognizes that that's his phone.
He knows his phone.
Mm-hmm. And he starts rim running, as I call it. His eyes are going crazy in his closed lids. It knows where we are.
That's terrifying.
And even though I've seen this 3 times, I was like, oh, they're going to run somewhere. But they don't. For some reason, they just like bolster the castle. Get ready for the battle. They would certainly lose.
Absolutely. They would lose.
Which
horribly.
is crazy, right? Like, why didn't they just run?
Where would they go?
Where would they go?
Anywhere to not be eaten to death. What do you mean? Just
Benny's Burgers?
Yeah.
They would bring Will with them. And so it's just kind of like
knocking back out. They apparently have an unlimited supply of Thorazine.
That's true.
For some reason, Hopper has a bunch of this shit and needles in his truck. I don't.
One of them opened up one of his doors and just bottles come like falling out of his car.
Yeah, those are for emergencies.
Ignore those. Confiscated them off of.
Because Joyce at this, she puts him back to sleep in this moment, and I was like, oh, they're running, but they're not. They hear the roar. They're coming. Hopper gets that single shot rifle from season 1. Somebody emailed us, I think it was Amanda, and said, plot hole, I think, I can't remember for sure, but didn't he take that with him to the Upside Down? But I think that's definitely false, because doesn't Hopper find it when he's investigating the shed? Or is it just the shells, the bullets that he finds? Basically,
I don't remember super well if he just dropped the rifle or not.
I think that the rifle that they're using is the one that was in the shed, and you see Hop set that on the ground when they are clearing out the shed, or you see somebody put
Right,
it on the
but
ground.
was it supposed to be there after what happened to it in season 1 is what the listener's asking.
Oh,
Because doesn't he take that with him to the Upside Down? I thought Hopper found it when he first goes in the shed and finds the sticky, goopy wood and stuff, but he might have just found the bullets. I can't remember, Amanda. I think it was Amanda that wrote in. But anyway, it's there now. He picks it up.
It's a new gun.
Steve talked about it earlier, and it's a really cool kind of throwback that Nancy's the one that's like, I know how.
Lock and load.
But he keeps the M16. Lucas has his slingshot. Where are they?
Steve's got the bat. He's ready to go.
They hear roaring and rustling, big noises of struggle outside. It sounds like those demo dogs are in pain. They're having a bad time.
Ow.
Maybe they ate some bad nougat. And then a dead demo dog flies through the window.
Kind of an asshole move, to be honest, from 11.
Yeah.
right.
Maybe that's what killed it.
Maybe, I don't know.
Max was standing right there just before that. She was trying.
Oh, I
she
would
was
have
aiming
loved it
for.
if somebody got hit with the demo dog.
You just see 11. Catch.
Imagine Nancy just blows 11's brains out when she comes in the door. I panicked. You know? But
Oh no, that was 11.
because the door unlocks itself, like she undoes the chain locks and stuff. And, you know, that's only 11 does that. But I guess they're worried maybe the demo dogs can.
I think the Demogorgon.
Demogorgon does
in
do that.
Episode 1 of season 1.
That door,
Yeah.
too. You're right.
Or what some people say, Vecna's doing it and it's not the Demogorgon.
Really? People say that?
Yeah.
Really?
That's one of the
Trying to fill in a hole.
that's the way people are like connecting Vecna to the first season.
Retcon?
One of the reasons, yeah.
We did miss
Because
some.
the Demogorgon can't do that any other time.
Some
in
other
the
people
show.
wrote in. We missed some clocks chiming that were probably added post season 4 to season 2.
I don't recognize the post clock chiming.
Well, when you were trying to, you spent like 10 minutes trying to help people identify what the retcons were. So I think
No.
that's why they're writing
I don't
in.
identify them.
What did you think was
Not
a
in
retcon?
this house.
Was there a retcon?
Yeah, it was a shot of the Demogorgon when it attacks
yeah,
Barb.
yeah.
Turns out that was not a retcon.
Yeah.
But there are some clocks chiming put in to call back to Vecna, and it was like episode 4 or something of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor it's certainly not here. It might be there. But the 11 walks in and she's dressed all bitchin'.
Yeah.
And Mike's like, what? And it's such a fucking great moment.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great way to end the episode. I was so hyped by it. It's so cool. It's such a satisfying reunion. It's worth all the goofy, her walking right by him at school bullshit earlier in like episode 2 or whatever, 3. Love it.
Such a good way to end the episode.
Imagine she had just been like had her goofy curly hair and like, you know what I mean? Like,
Even if she had her goofy curly hair, I would still be like,
it'd
hell
still
yeah.
be cool, but it's not as cool as how she look because it's like
She's got the huge eye, the big eyeshadow.
It's so funny to imagine, like, they don't know that she's been living with Hopper or anything, and he doesn't know that she went to fucking Pittsburgh or Chicago.
Yeah.
And so it's
then she
extra
shows
fun
up
for
looking-
me that they're like, you just had makeup in the other dimension and like
Where
just
the
look
fuck did you get a trench coat?
just look way cooler.
Mike's
Yeah.
like,
like-
I haven't seen you in a year. You look so cool.
and then her boyfriend walks in. And Mike's like, what the fuck? What's up?
She's smoking.
Yeah. I'm Trevor. God damn it. What's up, babe? Got any food here?
Got any food here?
Got any snacks?
That's the end of the episode, which means it's time for our favorite moments and more, but after a brief break to hear from one of our sponsors.
Welcome back, Streaming Things class. September has arrived, a month of fresh notebooks, sharpened pencils, and brand new beginnings. Whether you're headed back to school, back to work, or just back to your fall watch list, we're glad you're here with us. But before we close out today's episode, we want to give a huge shout out to the real overachievers of the Streaming Things community, our super patrons. These are the incredible folks who support us at the $25 or more tier each month, and thanks to them and all of our patrons, we're able to keep making this podcast for you. So thank you to John Collins, Sun-Loving Mortal, Xander Barbarian, Daniel Pack, Phil S., Nice Guy Eddie, Deep Substrate Foliated Cowkite, Jordan Garvin, Albus Stinkpot, Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Jim E., Lady Trashley, Sean Myers, Just Liz Calabria, Brett X, E. Scramo, Lol Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, AK Ashley Ray, Jay Rich, Upside Down Canuck, Big Butthorn, Josh Stitch, Jer, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog and a Barbie Car, El Bander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Trisha Bueller, Suzanne Rode, Sean Callahan, Jadinklage Morgoon, Jen Robinson, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, Vad Brenda, Aaron Armstrong, Hootie Hoo, Ashley Powers, Casey McCain, and of course, Enza. Thank you all so much for attending class this month and supporting us on Patreon. So without further ado, let's get back to this episode.
And we're back. It's time. We found our chocolate puddings, our top 3 favorite moments of episode 8. Andy, start us off.
I'm going to go with the comedic bit where Dustin explains the Mind Flayer to everyone. And I just love the pacing of this little sequence. The writing is just phenomenal for Dustin to be like, oh, it's like the Mind Flayer. And Hop's like, we don't fucking have time for this children's game. He's like, no, hear me out. It's a hive mind and yada, yada. And, oh, you beat it by summoning as undead zombies. And okay, yeah, it's just a game. It's just so fun and funny.
My number 3, I'm surprised I put this as low as I did because it's an amazing moment. I think it just speaks to how great this episode is. But my number 3 favorite moment is Bob Newby going out. His superhero moment, if you will. It's so emotional. And then again, put yourself back in 2017 when this first came out and you weren't hip to we're going to kill the beloved new character this season trope that seems to follow the show. So when Bob Newby died, it was such a big shock and surprise. I was shooketh when I first saw this happen. And it's really well done. Like the mop, we talked about the mop falling over is very effective. Dr. Owens is there guiding him. So you know, his face turn is fully 100% there. And it's just a tragic way for such a great, wholesome, good character to go. But he did go out as a superhero. And I love Bob Newby. R.I.P., dude.
R.I.P. My number 3 is the cold open. The carnage, all the dogs killing everybody in the lab. I think it's great. You know, we don't always get to dip back into like the really simplistic kind of monster horror that the show started out to be. I mean, we do, but there's so much body horror and then like really high concept kind of plot stuff in season 4. And like, this is just straight up, you know, awesomeness. Had to shout that out. That's my number 3. Andy, your number 2?
So that's my number 2.
Nice.
I want to shout out the whole opening sequence, basically everything before the title sequence, but in particular, I want to shout out when Mike realizes that Will's a spy. First off, it was phenomenal foreshadowing for him to tell Will that he is going to be a super spy. He can spy on the Mind Flayer, but it turns out to be the inverse. That's fun. That's great writing. But in particular, when they start holding Will down to drug him, and Will is screaming, let me go, let me go, let me go. I love that they cut to Mike covering his ears because it's such a sweet, childish thing because he's just a kid and he's terrified and he's seeing his possessed friend screaming bloody murder while his mom and the chief of police are trying to inject drugs into him. But for Mike to just cover his ears, I think is such a fun, phenomenal little thing to cut away to.
Love it.
Great moment. My number 2 is Will's interrogation scene. It hits me, you know, every time you got these characters that I love Will. I just want that boy to be protected at all costs. I think the relationship with him and Jaybird is really sweet. Obviously, his relationship with Joyce is so pivotal to the entire show, especially in the first season. Joyce is a big reason of why we as an audience love Will is through her love for that character. And seeing them all sort of like bear these open stories about Will that we're learning as the audience, but it tracks. Like that makes sense for Will that he did that, but also you're learning what makes this kid special are these small moments that family have with each other. And when she brings up the crayon story, I'm weeping. When Jonathan's like, hey, we built that castle and you were so bad at hammering, but I'm just in tears the whole time. I just love that scene. I think it's I saw an interview where the Duffer said it was very interesting for them to film that in the edit because so much of that show has like music going on in the background, and that scene in particular doesn't have any music. It's very quiet and very intimate. And I think that's why I gravitate towards it, because it's probably one of the more intimate scenes in the entire show. And it's my number 2 favorite moment.
Great choice. My number 2 is when Eleven returns at the end. It's such a triumphant, kind of unexpected, even though should be totally be expecting it. But it works, and we get all these little throwbacks to all these little characters. It's very similar to the finale of season 1, and they're in that same room where shit went down, and Nancy's locked and loaded again. Steve's got the bat again. Like, this is, goddamn, this house has seen some better days.
Yeah.
But also worse ones, all that stuff. But this time Elle is there. I don't know. It's just, we talked about it a lot. It's just so fucking awesome. But that's my number 2. Andy.
My favorite moment is the basic scene where they're trying to come up with a plan. We need to reset the breakers. And, Hop's a man of action. So he's like, all right, I got this. Here I go. And for Bob the Brain to stop him and no, you can't just flip the breakers and we're good. You need to reset the computer. You can't do this, but I can. And for him to step up and say, I'm a superhero. And it's a great moment. And, Sean Astin, we barely knew ye, and I'm real sad.
I'm so glad that we're picking a diverse set of scenes, because every scene that y'all have mentioned that's not on my list was on my short list. And it just speaks how great this episode is.
Yeah.
But my number 1 favorite moment, the moment that makes me the happiest, gives me the most excitement, is Eleven returning at the very end of the episode. Because it is, like you said, it's so effective. You get all the character moments leading up to her revealing herself, and you should know that's coming a mile away. And it's a situation where the most obvious choice for a story isn't always because a lot of people are like, oh, don't do the obvious choice, because then the audience won't be happy because they need to be shocked. Sometimes that's not accurate. Sometimes give the people what they expect and what they want, and it's just as good and gratifying as an audience member. And seeing Eleven walk through that door looking absolutely bitchin' after throwing a demo dog through the window, I'll bill you later, bill me, Joyce, it's so cool. And you're just like, yeah, turn on that next episode. I cannot wait. So good.
I was so glad we were watching 2 personally, but that's my number 1. It was Andy's number 1. It was my number 1 as well. It's, if I'm going to pick a Bob scene, it's not his death. It's when he volunteers. I think it hits harder, to be fair, knowing what happens, it's an extra cool moment. And it's like, yeah, he did what had to be done. And then when he's like, take him out of here. Don't wait for me. Even though Joyce fucking waited. Who knows if he hadn't stopped to look cool for her, maybe he would have made it.
I know.
He's like, oh shit, nobody's here. I got to keep going.
I made it. And he stops and smiles. Told you, superhero.
But yeah, it's so cool. The basic scene is an all-timer. It's my number 1 for this great episode, which brings us to our Easter Eggos. 80s TV shows and pop culture and movie references that were inspirations for this episode itself. We'll go around the room until we run out. Andy.
I have very, very little, but I want to call out, and it might not be the case, but Dr. Owens on the radio with Bob, watching him on the cameras and telling him where to go. It made me think of The Matrix when Neo, before he's Neo, is Mr. Anderson is being led around the office on the phone. They're like, duck, stop, cross over to the next cubicle, yada, yada. Just the way that it was shot and made me think of The Matrix.
I get that. That tracks.
So Dr. Owens is Morpheus.
Yes.
Show me.
Ooh, woo.
Bob is fighting Owens.
Ooh, woo. This episode to me is the most like Jurassic Park that the show ever gets. Specifically the scene in the first Jurassic Park when Dr. Sattler is being led around, like, we got to turn the power on and once the power comes on, someone's got to type something into the computer to get the system actually rebooted. And even I know this is a small detail, and this might not even be like an actual callback to Jurassic Park, but I just thought it had to have been intentional. The type of flashlight he's using is one of those flashlights that has a very distinctive ring light. So when you're shining the light on the wall, you see that hollowed out circle pattern that the light is casting. And that's exactly what Dr. Sattler's using in that scene in Jurassic Park 2, a very similar flashlight pattern being displayed out of it. What about you, Kit?
When Bob dies, it's very reminiscent of Jaws.
Ooh.
When Quint dies. It's structured very much the same way. It's like Joyce is Roy Scheider in this particular sequence. Quint seems to get away right after a very close call with the shark and then dies violently while they watch.
The demo dog like belly flopped onto
he did.
Sean Astin.
Yep. I think it's very similar, and it has to be some kind of inspiration. At least according to Sean Astin, it was kind of like he was kind of involved in the way that he went out, and he suggested we do like a Quint thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
he really wanted to have a sweet monologue before he goes.
Yeah, talking about World War II. They cut all that though.
Demo dog had those eyes. 300 men and women went into the drink known as Hawkins Lab. Joyce Hopper and a young boy. 2 young boys were the only ones who got out.
That's right. He tried that, but they cut that. But yeah, always happy to bring up Jaws. Andy.
I'll shout out in Billy's room. I saw a Motley Crue album, and I was having a really hard time figuring out which album it was because I went through all of their covers and the variants. The closest that I could come to was it looked like it was Shout at the Devil, but like a variation of that cover. And it would make the most sense because that album came out in September of '83.
Talking about Kill 'Em All?
No. There was a Kill 'Em All poster and he was listening to Metallica, but in his room there was a Motley Crue vinyl that you can blink and you miss it. But I think it's Shout at the Devil, but I'm not sure. But it would make the most sense timeline wise.
Wonder if it was those same leather pants.
Yeah.
The crunchy ones.
Mm-hmm. This is something that I thought of maybe since this season has so much Ghostbusters stuff at the front half. Do you think the demo dogs are also sort of a Ghostbusters callback because Zool has, the gatekeeper and keymaster dog-like avatars?
I'll buy it.
And they're sort of like working for this higher power that can only enter our world through a portal.
I'd buy that for $1.
Someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
Go get him, Ray.
Hellraiser will come up a lot, especially as we get into like season 4. And some very overt references to the Hellraiser himself. But the world, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I believe he's from like a place called Labyrinth. And it's like a giant mechanism called Leviathan. And that apparently inspired the design or overall vibe of the Mind Flayer itself, especially when it's like...
Like what?
Just it's very vague and threatening, and what's the word the guy who came up with Cthulhu?
Lovecraft.
Yeah, it's very Lovecraftian, but also Hellraisian.
Hellraisian, I like that.
Clive Cutlerian. Andy,
I'm out. They say Star Wars toys, Judgment Day.
They do, but also more explicitly, she talks about everybody else got you Star Wars toys, but you wanted to draw your own big ship, and she's probably talking about a Star Destroyer.
Sure.
You think?
Maybe Jefferson Airplane?
It'd be weird if he wasn't just drawing a random other ship.
Hey, it was his rainbow ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve?
Will's Possession obviously is an Exorcist thing. That's the low-hanging fruit that I pulled.
No, I mean, we talked about it before, but I should have withheld it because this is the most Reagan, the Exorcist kind of thing that we get.
Especially when he crawls backwards downstairs.
Yeah.
He starts vomiting pea soup. At
Masturbating
everybody.
with the crucifix.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Will!
Judgment Day, it's Terminator 2 reference.
Yeah.
Easy one. That's all I got. Easy peasy.
Well, I'll move on to the music then. We got The Love You Save May Be Your Own by Jack Cook. That's playing when Neil and Susan are arriving home from wherever they were at. It's what's playing in their car. But when they get into the house, Billy is listening to The Four Horsemen by Metallica.
Horsemen drawing nearer. They come to take your life tonight.
Now they're suing us.
That song rocks.
And then Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash plays once more during the interrogation scene, as it should. And that's the only music this episode.
Dang.
You gosh darn tootin'.
They're
Really?
slacking.
Well, because there was a lot of score, and that score was scoring, guys.
It do be scoring.
I'm cashed out as well, so that's all we got for Easter Eggos. It's time to nominate our favorite performance. Our 11 out of 10. I think there's an obvious choice, but there's a couple like ringers too.
Yeah, I have 4 names.
Andy, you have the unfortunate duty of always going first,
Oh, it's an
setting the tone.
easy call. Lifetime achievement. Bob Newby superhero. Sean Astin was phenomenal in this episode. And I think that while there are other choices, those
They're
are the
wrong.
wrong ones. And Bob Newby is correct.
Steve, which wrong choice you going with, bud?
Well, ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm also going to give it to Sean Astin.
We
because
all, everybody.
everybody. He's just so awesome and incredible. He's in this role all season. He's been doing so much work, and the fact that the way he's played this character when he reaches his demise in this episode. Oh, you direct all because of the work that he's done with the limited amount of screen time he's had. But I also just want to shout out that I think
Shout out the devil.
Winona Ryder's great in this episode. Noah Schnapp is amazing in this episode. Even Dacre Montgomery is phenomenal in
Agreed.
the one scene he had. Like, he was amazing in that scene. And I just want to make sure that Dacre gets his shout out.
Agreed. Shout out daycare.
Shout out to the daycare.
I love him in this at the end of that scene after his dad punks him and leaves, and he's like crying and like he's mad at himself for being upset and like punches the wall and stuff. Good shit.
Yeah. It's very, very good, but it is Bob Newby with a bullet, as Andy would say. But now it's time to do something we call stepping into the Nina. We're going to visit Dr. Brenner's lair.
Welcome to my lair. It's really just where I keep the hot tub.
That's right. And he lets us soak in the Nina once a week.
Put on your sandals, boys. We're gonna get a good soak on. I put a bath bomb in this week.
Ooh,
Sudsy.
Very sudsy.
lavender, do I detect?
Oh, you detect well. Your olfactory glands are working, my boy.
That's right. This is where we journey back to 2017, our original coverage when we were normal men.
We tots in our
Innocent man.
mid-20s.
We tots in our mid-20s.
That's right.
From the mouth of babes are where these clips come from.
The mods have selected certain often embarrassing clips from our original coverage, and we try to guess the context. Sometimes there isn't any. We just said shit.
Yeah.
We do our best.
We be wildin' sometimes. This week, we do have 5 clips, unlike last week where we only had 3. So we got a lot of content to sift through. Are you ready to hear the first clip?
Yes, sir.
Boom.
That would be so badass if Baby Holly just walks, just like, come at me, bitches.
With like
I've had 3 juice boxes today already.
bullet belts all over her shoulders.
She's like grabbing the Demogorgon things and like snapping their necks one at a time, like, you, spitting on their corpses as she walks by.
Baby Holly, she's had enough.
No. Let her do this.
In a world.
And then they do like a smash cut to Karen and Ted, and Ted's like, Karen, where's our youngest?
Where's the little one?
I think her name is Bobby.
Stranger Things 2. Baby Holly's Justice.
That was a long one.
It was. That's obviously the same bit we did this time, but we used Ted this time. At the end of the episode, killing the demo dogs.
It's more likely that it would be Baby Holly coming to save
That's
the day
right.
than Ted.
That's right.
Sure.
That dude's passed out. Let's see what they write. They say, Kit reads the synopsis for the episode that mentions an unlikely hero that steps up to help those in the Hawkins Lab. The boys wish this referred to Baby Holly so badly so she can mete out her baby justice.
So it is the same bit where we used Ted this time, but just a different bit, but the same bit. You know what I mean? Because
Well, I
during
think-
the synopsis, we did that too. We're like, it's Ted.
Yeah. That's funny that we just did the same joke with a different character.
We've grown, but also have we?
Have we? Have we?
We're the same but worse.
Let's listen to number 2.
And he's like, fuck. Woo! Send me boobs, mom. Like, oh, wrong one.
I think it's drugged Will.
Same joke. Yes.
All right. So when they drug Will and he's just saying some shit. All right. Let's see what they write. Joyce gives Will a sedative to counteract his spy skill. Kit says that it would be funny if she grabbed the wrong drug, and this is how our sweet boy Will would react. Show me your boobs. Will!
Same joke. All right.
We are the same. Clip number 3.
I cannot play horror video games. I was a huge fan of Resident Evil 2 as a kid, but it like gave me like mini heart attacks on a regular basis.
Did you play Dead Space?
I've only got 2 herbs and 3 bullets, and I haven't saved in forever. I can't handle this right now.
Okay. No, I didn't play Dead Space. I don't know if I ever answered your question.
Well, you would hate it.
I think that we're talking about the
It's got to be Bob sneaking through the lab.
yeah, Bob Sneaking Through the Lab is very survival horror-esque.
I think you guys got it. Bob sneaking through the lab. They write, Kit relating the Hawkins laboratory lockdown to a video game that he would not be able to play, as Kit notoriously is a video game scaredy cat.
It's true.
So yeah, but same thing. We said Bob walking through the lab, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing. I'm giving us that point because
Points.
I want the points.
Damn right.
Number 4.
I think the last moment I was that happy was when my son was born. And,
Aww.
and I think it was better than that even.
Significantly.
Yeah. My son being born is a distant second.
211 popping up at the
It
end.
has to be 11
Yeah,
coming back.
for sure.
All right, it's definitely that. Number 4, what did they write? Kit's number 1 moment of the episode is when 11 returned and he claims it made him happier than when his son was born. Is that still true?
Maybe. It's not happier than when my daughter was born, but
Oh, okay. All right. Number 5.
Steve, you're dead to me.
Oh, God.
If a demodog were to walk in, I'd be like, eat him first.
Okay, why am I dead to Andy?
I don't know. Steve said some shit and it pissed me off. I bet he talked shit about Ted.
Even back then in season 2?
I don't know, man. I'm just grasping. Dead to me if a demodog busts.
What
in.
about this episode? If
You know
I,
what?
disagree with Andy.
I referenced the demodog, and I said eat him first. Maybe like you were underwhelmed by the death of Bob.
oh, that would be classic Steve, but I doubt it.
Like, not as funny as I would have wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. I'll co-sign that.
Okay.
I do be like that sometimes. All right, the mods write in. Andrew is upset that Steve did not pick The Return of 11 as his number 1.
Wow.
My, how the turntables.
That wasn't even on my list.
How the turntables, Andy.
Dang.
I have put it on the list and you've completely forgotten it.
I've grown. Y'all stayed the same. You're back in 2017.
I'm
have
Andy 10
regressed.
years ago.
I'm in 3017 over here.
You've regressed.
I'm
was
An-
that just a Fergie reference?
I was
You're so 3008. He's so 2000 and late.
no, I was thinking of Childish Gambino.
That's true.
You're still dead to me.
Oh, man, dang it. Well, those are all the Ninas. Thank you, mods, for writing those in to us.
Well, Dr. B, thanks for allowing us in your hot tub.
Anytime. Andrew, you can
Sudsy.
stay.
We'll be back
please.
next week. Now it's time to figure out what the hell we created with that MadLib.
MadLib. You guys ready to hear the story that you guys helped create at the beginning of the episode?
Yes.
It begins with my new camcorder. I'm going to suckle the most amazing films in the world. I'll sell more tickets than Teat Busters
That's going to be difficult.
and Raiders of the Lost Spider combined. First, I'll write a script that's like Boofing to America, mixed with Indigo Velvet. I love comedies that also make you pilfer. Sounds so weird when you put it that way. I'll cast the most famous models in Hollywood,
Okay.
like Ebenezer Cruz and Whoopi Orphanberg. Then it's lights, camera, op. My movie will have more chase scenes than Clean Hard and more explosions than Lethal Labium. I'll add some cool narrators like in Do the Hairy Thing, and then I'll scare the kneecaps off the audience like a nightmare on Clitoral Hood Street. Then I will accept my Academy Tater for Best Director. I'll thank Grandma Andy for buying me this VHS camcorder. And thus concludes Hit Record.
Excellent job, folks. Excellent job.
Can I get my ticket right now for Lethal Labium?
Yes.
We need to write that movie.
It's our next short film. Tune in soon for us reviewing for the second time the finale of Stranger Things Season 2. Stranger Things Season 3 will commence right after. I won't be here, me, Kit, because I'll be in Texas while we record that. I don't know exactly when the episode drops, but just prepare yourselves for that. I'll be at Fantastic Fest watching a bunch of crazy genre films. So I got to miss a Game of Thrones episode and Season 3, Episode 1, unfortunately, but I'll be back.
And the poll winner.
And whatever the poll winner will be, but which looks like Sinners, which really pisses me off. You guys always save some real heavy hitters for when I'm not here. But I never miss the other sister or anything. You know? Always here for the good ones.
Hey,
but Hard Home and Almost Famous and Sinners, fuck me, you know? But yeah, that's coming up soon. Just wanted to shout that out if you're looking forward to those things. Still look forward to them. Just know that don't be shocked when Kit's not there, when there's no laser dropping. Pew, pew.
Sorry to say, it's just Andy and I.
Yeah. And a bottle of Fireball.
You can't wait to hear Andy's narration of the recap. Fucking vampires eating pussy and shit. That's all the time we've got for right now. My name is Kit.
I'm Andy. And I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things, streaming Stranger Things.
Happy streaming.